Welcome everybody back to Chanel's Reality. I'm your host Chanel. This is my reality. So today we're going to recap the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion part 1. So before we get started, please, if you wouldn't mind, hit the like button, share my videos. Please watch them to the end. It helps with the analytics and whatnot. I'm just trying to build my whole Chanel community here. Just help me out. You know what I'm saying? I always talk to y'all about my struggle wig. I'm just saying, help me so I get a better wig. Just saying. So now we're going to get into the Beverly Hills reunion part 1. So the reunion starts out with Andy being shady. Per usual, Andy Cohen. He's shady. He's the head King Cobra. I always talk about the King Cobras. To me, King Cobra means you're Slytherin, you're snake-like, and your value. I feel like people like that can be bought. I do. I feel like they don't have any real loyalties. And Kyle just happens to be the King Cobra of Potomac. Because she sold her sister up the Kim Richards up the stream season 1 in the back of that limo or whatever it is. Yeah, she sold her up the stream for a check. She just got countless people in her wake, and now it's up to she's been selling Dorit up the street or up the stream. Anyways, so like I said, it starts out with Andy being messy. Andy talks about, he asks Kyle about what she feels about the fact that Erika Jayne recently was on Watch What Happens Live. By the way, is it just me? My boobs, oh my God. I'm just like, are my boobs growing? What is happening? Anyway, sorry. It's just, it's a lot. I don't know what's happening. Okay, sorry. Like I said, Andy's been messy. Andy asked Kyle what she felt about Erika Jayne going on Andy Cohen's show. And saying basically the way it's been making its rounds in the entertainment world and on social media is that Erika said to Andy that Erika said to Andy that she wants Andy to eviscerate Kyle Richards. And this is the thing. They both fake. Andy's fake. Kyle is fake. Erika's fake. They're also fake. Because here's why. Kyle's response is the most, I can't. So Kyle basically says, well, at first, I had my feelings hurt because, I heard it was whatever, right? Which is probably honest. That's probably the most honest that Kyle is going to be when she talks about this situation. Because then she says, but, I know Erika's a real true friend to me. And I know we have a strong friendship and yada, yada, yada. She's been a good friend to me. So I know she just was really just saying that because she was, thrown out to the wolves and, basically got her ate up for years. Then she wants me to have that happen to me. And that's not what she meant. She meant all of us. Kyle, this is not an all lives matter moment. It is not an all lives matter moment, hun. She was talking to you. And let's be clear. She didn't mince her words, really. The reason, and you know what? I won't even say her words. Look at her actions. Because people could say whatever. Your husband, no shade, Kyle, has sat on TV with you for 13 years. And y'all all acted like y'all love each other. And meanwhile, he's holding hands with some lady that he said is his dance partner or something. All I'm saying is you can't just go on what someone says. This thing about life, it turns. And eventually it's going to be your turn. But one of the biggest things in life that you have to learn is not what people say. It's what they don't say. And what they didn't say to you last season directly, really, is that Lisa Rinna and Erika, well, Erika did say it, if I'm being honest. Erika gave every chance she got, she gave it away. But basically, they were coming for your sister, your other sister. And you still sit here, as the King Cobra that you are, with no problem. You still, that's your friend? You still sitting over here talking about, oh, she's my friend and oh, she's my friend. Meanwhile, all that season, girl, she was trying to get your sister. She was trying to really, her and Lisa Rinna were trying to destroy your sister. That is your family. Girl. So again, King Cobra moments, because she can't find fault in Erika. But she can certainly find fault in Kim Richards for being an alcoholic at the time. Or Kathy Hilton for saying some slick whatever that she's probably said to Kyle before. And I'm not saying Kyle doesn't have a right to be mad about whatever it is. I just don't understand why, if we're going to fight this fight, if we're going to be fair, why are you more fair to the girl that has no loyalty or allegiance to you? And why are you cool with them taking down your sister in your face on national television? Like I say, snake. Anyway, I can't with Erika being fake hurt. She's, oh, I'm so fake hurt about, you know, these people. Okay, so let me be very clear. What has happened to Erika Jayne in the public, it is atrocious, right? She's a human being just like anybody else. She bleeds just like the rest of us. The hard part that I have with Erika is that I do think she has narcissistic behaviors and tendencies. So it's difficult for me to feel bad for her when she doesn't feel bad for the victims, the people that actually something literally did happen to them. Something terrible happened to them. And then as a result, they sued someone. They used your husband to be the catalyst to win this lawsuit. And then he then does something to them in addition to whatever awful things already happened. And then you benefit from it. And then you have the audacity to sit here and act like someone did something to you. Stop it. Like, full stop. So that's a narcissistic trait. You don't have no feelings for the treachery that your husband did to these people. You don't have no compassion for these people, no empathy whatsoever. But you sit on national TV and talk about how it's expensive to be you, even after you find out all of this stuff has happened to these people, and that we all know you've benefited from it. You know you have. You even went back to court to appeal for some, $2 million earrings. If Erika did actually care about these people, why are you fighting to get some earrings back so that it doesn't go to them? Did you work? Because last time I checked, Erika, what $1 million did you buy those earrings with? Was it your $1 million? Oh, did you have $1 million when you bought those? Oh, okay, because I thought you said your husband bought them for you like 12 years ago or 15 years ago, whenever it was. And if you can produce a receipt where you know, Erika Jayne was making so much money that you bought them, then I'm with you. Yes. Let's appeal it. But since we all know that didn't happen, you did not have $3 million or $2 million of your own money that you earned to pay for earrings. So it came from somewhere else. And the last time we checked, your husband was disbarred for allegedly stealing people's money. Those victims that you don't care about. So I can't with Erika and her fake phony, I'm so happy, you know, I got out of this situation and I'm back on top. I'm never going to be mad that, you know, she can overcome, because I do think it's terrible. What happened to the victims is also terrible that on some level she is a victim. What I don't like is that you're acting like your life is so messed up when these people have actual shit that happened to them. Like they lost lives or loved ones, or their life that they have currently is so messed up. And then now they don't even have the money to help them heal. That's what I can't understand. And bravo, Erika can go. I used to be like, oh, you know, just leave it there. You know, I love to see a comeback story. No, she's asinine. She's been asinine for a while, but I wanted to hope that she would come around. She ain't coming around. Erika doesn't care. So what I need you to do, Bravo, is let her feel the heat for real. Let her get off of this TV show so she won't have those people giving her money, giving her gigs because they want to promote their whatever, and they think maybe she could bring. I don't ever want to see anyone fall. I don't knock nobody's hustle. But when you can sit on TV and still earn a paycheck of what, $500,000 or whatever it is she's making for 3 or 4 months of work, and have the audacity to sit there and act like someone's wrong to you. Yes, it's wrong for people to get on the internet and nail you to a cross. It is. And I could get on board with them not doing that. I think it's wrong. But it's hard for me to pick a side, sis. I'm gonna always pick the side of the victims because they are powerless to do anything about what has happened to them. You have power. You sit on a nationally syndicated TV show platform still complaining about something that, you know, happened to you when you're okay. You still walking around with your $1,000 red bottoms, right? Okay, so shut the hell up. Sit down and shut the hell up. So anyways, moving on. Dorit responds. Okay, so Andy asks Dorit, what's her reaction to Kyle's description of their friendship regarding Erika, or really just regarding Dorit. And because basically Kyle has gone on a I don't know that whole campaign. Kyle has gone on a I don't know that whole campaign, honey. Okay? Kyle Richards is not, this is what I say. They can be bought. Kyle was doing whatever she was doing with Morgan, and I was on Kyle's side. Like, let that woman live. Because at the time, they were showing all these situations where Mauricio was out with, you know, people that it just made it look questionable. Because you got a whole wife at home, sir. What are we doing? What are we doing, Mauricio? What are we doing? Okay? So I kind of felt like, let Kyle live. And I can't stand Kyle for a million reasons. And they're all because of her behavior and how she treats people. But I'm not even going to get into that because we just going to stick to this reunion, okay? But, so basically during the season, Dorit at some point asked Kyle, you know, hey, you know, what's been going on in your life? I haven't seen you much. And, you know, is something going on with your husband? How's your life with your husband? Whatever. Kyle, she answered Dorit. She was a lot more nice to Dorit in her response than she ever was to Sutton, who never even asked her that. Sutton just said, what's going on in your life? Dorit said, what is happening with you and Mo? Essentially. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what Dorit said. And Kyle wasn't mad at her, none of that. Now, I don't know what has happened, but I feel like something has happened that Kyle has felt like she needs to ice Dorit out. But it can't be what happened on this season, Kyle. It can't. Because who says to their friend, who goes on Amazon Live or whatever Kyle was on, and like says to their friend, or says about their friend, we not really friends like that. To their friend, about their friend. The hell? Girl. Dorit, come to the front. Run, sis. To be honest, Dorit, I need you to go back to the Dorit that, you know, was on that Hong Kong boat with Erika. And she was trying to tell you about how you are begging or, what is it, dying for her attention. And Dorit was like, you're not that fucking interesting. You're cold as ice. You're not happy. Like, Dorit went in, and I was here for it every second of it. Dorit, go back to that girl. Because Dorit didn't give any, like, at all. She was not trying to fit in. Now, since she got in with Kyle and Teddy and Erika, and they have some sort of, and Lisa Rinna, they have some sort of Fox Force Snakes of America, you know, joint commission together. Now Dorit has lost her voice, and it's just so sad. It really is. Because there's lots of things that I don't like about Dorit, but I like that about Dorit. Dorit was never a person I felt like that you could just run over. And I think she's become that person because she silenced herself literally the whole last year, in my opinion, to get Erika's back. And I think what she's realizing is these bitches do not have my back. Kyle just showed her for the past 3 months. Kyle, like, I don't know that her. So Dorit and Kyle have like this little transaction, or back and forth rather. Because Dorit says, I think I kind of got, what did she say? Well, I think I kind of got stuck on the fact, Dorit says, I kind of got stuck on the fact that she said when she saw the headlines that it hurt her because it's much of the same. When I saw the headline that said Kyle stated that I exaggerated our friendship, that stung. So basically Kyle, like I said, went on Amazon or whatever and was just like, Dorit's exaggerating our friendship. And it just was unnecessary for Kyle to do that. Kyle, I don't understand why you would do that. Like, if I'm going to be completely honest, I never believed that Kyle and Dorit were besties the way that they try to make it seem online. I was just kind of like, they're so different. Dorit has style. Kyle does not. Kyle likes to wear labels, but she doesn't really have style. Dorit loves to wear labels, but she also has killer style. Dorit is actually a fashionista. Like, I'll give her that. She's a lot of other things too that I can't stand. But she knows her lane, and her lane is fashion, and she does it well. You know, I don't love everything she wears or whatever, but she does it well. Dorit's pretty, in my opinion. Even though, you know, maybe naturally she might not be, but when she puts it together, she looks great. Kyle never, in my opinion. To me. But it is beauty in the eye of the beholder. So I just don't get, like, what do y'all have in common? I don't see where Kyle and Dorit have anything in common, really. Because Dorit's kind of like a human Barbie doll and is married, I think, on some level to a fake billionaire. I mean, it's a few of them running around in Hollywood. I think it's one in Potomac named the Black Bill Gates or something. I don't know. No shade. But that's what his wife said, so just saying. Because the tax people said something different. I'm going to have to stop being shady. At me if you bought that life. I'm talking about all of y'all. All of this shade came from y'all's TV show, so don't do it. You want to run it, we can run it. But Candy say, you want to run it, we can run it. I don't want to run this girl down on this TV show. All the way down on this TV show, okay? Shout out to Candy Burris. So basically, Dorit's saying, you know, it's effed up that Kyle would basically say that Dorit's exaggerated their friendship and that they only went on one trip together and whatever. Again, King Cobra Snake, what can I say? So Dorit, if you're listening, sis, pay attention. Then they speak about Garcelle and her awards and her nominations for the project that I think she produced and starred in. Excuse me, a Black Girl Missing. I can't remember if it was a series or a movie. Whatever it was, she got nominated for some awards. I think like NAACP award and some other award that she did win. I forget which one it was. They show some scenes with, you know, Garcelle parenting her boys, which I think that's good. I do think, although it's not entertaining to me, I do think it's good to show single parenting and how it can be a struggle, even though she's appears to be wealthy, appears to have a lot going for herself. Is on a, you know, national syndicated, well, really international TV show, is making movies, and she's brown and she's beautiful. And, you know, I think that's good. I think it's good to show. It's not necessarily that entertaining to me, but that doesn't mean that it can't be helpful to other people. They also showed Dorit being insensitive to Garcelle when they were in Vegas. When Garcelle and, you know, there was a situation where some things happened last season or the season before when Diana was on, and there were some really insensitive, racist things said about about Garcelle's, at the time, 14-year-old son. It was just vile things, and, you know, I don't have to run it down, but it was very vile and difficult, I would say, for any parent, really, to kind of, like, overcome, especially in the climate that we're in. But anyways, fast forward a year later, they're at some sort of, I think, dinner after, like, I can't remember if this was after Magic Mike or whatever. But anyways, they were having like a 9:30 or 10 o'clock dinner. And, you know, I think Garcelle or Sutton shared that they had gone and had lunch with Garcelle's oldest son, who's, I think, on Vanderpump Rules or something like that. And, you know, they were talking about, you know, basically at some point, Dorit says something like, you know, you've done a great job as a mom, blah, 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 right? And Garcelle says at the moment she didn't feel comfortable, really, but she kind of just went with it, you know? She just went with the moment. But the next day, she said to all of them, you know, when they were sitting down, she said, you know, I just want to say this because I don't feel like I was being genuine for myself. So she explains that when, you know, she was talking to the women about her son, she kind of went along with it, but she don't feel like it was authentic, what she was saying, because she said she doesn't trust. She said, I don't know if I can trust this group of women with my children, with my family. And she's right. Didn't I tell you about the King Cobras? They don't care. Garcelle said on that reunion, had a whole book that she wrote about, you know, her journey and her mom's journey, and she's Haitian and all this. And they, within literally like not even 2 minutes in, Andy, Lisa, Brenna, and Erika are all talking about recycling because they threw Garcelle's book in the trash and how it wasn't really Lisa Rinna that did it. It was Erika, and Erika took the blunt and this, that, and the third. When meanwhile, you are shitting literally on this lady's accomplishment, which is she wrote a book. That's an accomplishment. That is not an easy feat to do. It's again, I told y'all about the colorism on Potomac. I'm just saying. Stop playing in our face like we don't know what the is up. We do. We do. And it's wrong. So anyways, that's in this scene at the reunion. In the scene from Vegas, that's what Garcelle brought up, you know, that Dorit just couldn't see. She couldn't see. She made it about her. Because when Garcelle was saying, you know, this is what happened to my son, and, you know, he was being laughed at, even though he was the one that was being attacked by Erika, and y'all then sat and laughed about it as my friends, and you think I shouldn't have anything to say? You think I should trust y'all? And Dorit's point is like, well, it's been a year, and you know people, and blah, 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 blah. Well, Dorit, you have a whole husband that lives in a whole house with you, allegedly. And he can't seem to understand your PTSD, and he's your husband. But you have some sort of timeline. PK can't comprehend that PTSD, like any trauma, and I'm gonna put you in the same boat with him of dumb shit people that think they're smart say, which is you need to move on. It's your trauma. Your husband said that you need to move on, and he thinks that, you know, it's just you being obnoxious. You didn't take too kind of that, did you? Because it's not fair to say to someone that they need to move on. Yet you sat there and told Garcelle she needs to move on. It's been a year with your little smirk on your face. Don't get me started on Dorit regarding that. Dorit, use that same smoke for your friend Kyle, who's saying she ain't your friend. Someone who deserves it. What did Garcelle do to you? What did Garcelle do to you? She said that her son was attacked by your friend, and you sat there and did nothing. You sat there and did absolutely nothing. And then you have the nerve enough to say to her, well, I mean, it's been a year. You should be able to move past it. First of all, I'm not moving past it that you say about my son, my husband, my mom, my family. We're not moving past anything. We can be real fake and phony on this show, and we can have, you know, whatever, our banter back and forth, and it's light and bright. But what you said, what you sat and laughed at, what your friend over here did, which cuss at my son, I don't get to just move on from it. So I move on when I'm ready. And guess what? I might not ever be ready because I might always get triggered. That's why I say trauma is lifelong. So telling people that they need to move forward, stop it. You can't control other people's trauma. It's their trauma. So anyways, that annoys me. So sorry for going out on a tangent, but I just can't with her. Because it's like, girl, the double standards of it all. Anyway. So Garcelle basically shares, she said the problem with Dorit is that she takes things and makes them about her and then becomes the victim. And that's true. Because in that instance in Vegas, when Garcelle was just sharing her feelings, she was just saying, you know, I'm still sensitive to the fact that I was at my birthday party and I had my family there, my 3 sons, and they were attacked by this lady over here. She attacked, well, she didn't really, I wouldn't say she attacked the older one, but she basically was trying to get at him. And he said, I'm married. She didn't care. She was like, hey, your baby mama called me. Microaggression. Why she a baby mama? He said he's married. Yeah. Bravo. What did I say? Colorist by Bravo. Just saying. Anyway, classes by Bravo. Because what would make you think? I don't have time. That's another story for another day. Anyway, Dorit does that. So Dorit, you can't move yourself out of the way. This isn't about you. Garcelle didn't point you out. She didn't single you out. She said, I don't feel comfortable that this group will have my children's back. I don't. And she has every reason to think that. Y'all gave her every reason. Tell me why she shouldn't feel that way. You have every right, Dorit, since you say that you got robbed. And I believe you. I'm one of the few. Okay? Why would you not have the right to have your feelings about how you felt about being attacked in your home? You can't have your feelings? How did you feel about your husband telling you he don't know if he believes that this is PTSD or if it's only that? It's obnoxious for him to say that. It's beyond obnoxious for him to say it, but it is categorically false. And I couldn't even for him to say it on TV. To the world? Oh, you got me all the way. Stay in London. No. We don't do that. We don't do that. You're not gonna, how dare you? Anyway. Then they flash back to Erika speaking to the impact that, so Dorit in one of the episodes when Crystal's having like Taco Tuesday, Dorit is basically trying to embarrass Sutton in front of this other group of ladies that were at the house at the taco party. And Garcelle catches it and she said, hold on. I think, you're just trying to embarrass her. Now, mind you, before Garcelle said that, Sutton, the person that Dorit was trying to embarrass, was yelling at Dorit and really telling Dorit off, essentially. Her and Dorit are having a back and forth, right? She never says that Sutton is attacking her. Not once. The moment Garcelle says, wait, I think you're just doing that to try to embarrass her. Well, you attacked me. When? Girl. And I'm so happy Garcelle clocked it. I was so happy. I'm like, thank you. Because when? And Erika, like I said, they flashed back to it in the reunion. Erika was just like, there's a difference between when a white lady says, you attacked me to a black woman, then when a black woman says you attacked me, or another white woman says you attacked me to another white woman. It just is. And that's essentially what Erika said, and she's right. And we all know she's right. Erika ain't right about a lot, but she's right about that. She's right. We know what the microaggressions are, the throwaway statements. And Dorit just can't be wrong. Because even here, she's still trying to justify it. All you have to say, Dorit, since you said you wanted Garcelle to tell you what to do, and Garcelle's like, I ain't about to teach you. It's not my job. Just shut the fuck up. Like, if you are not sure about the word, just don't say nothing. Just shut up. That's the rule of thumb. Just listen. Just listen. Just listen. I'm pretty sure there's a TED Talk that could educate you. But like, what did Garcelle say? I'm not here to educate you. Anyway, I would say, Garcelle, please, try, but I can't with Dorit, because even now, even after she watches the episode where Garcelle says, you living in your bubble, Dorit can't help herself. She still don't see it. At the reunion, she still is confused about why she shouldn't have put on her Instagram, happily living in my bubble. She has no clue. And that's the sad part. It's just so sad. But she wants to say that she's educated. Okay. So Garcelle and Dorit are in like this back and forth, and Garcelle states that the story was actually, she was saying that Dorit's story is that she has been attacked in her home, right? So Dorit is clear about what an attack is. But you say that I attacked you? Garcelle hit the nail on the head. She's right. You know what an actual attack is, Dorit. What happened with you and Garcelle, that was not someone attacking you. All she did was say that I think, you're trying to embarrass her. That's an attack? Girl, stop. And that's what we mean by microaggressions, because there's nothing in what Garcelle said that, anyway, looks like someone's attacking you. Hold please. There is a some sort of, what is this thing called? It's like a mosquito thingy, and it's flying around and I can't. So pause. Hold please. Look at the Costco box. That's crazy. I cannot. Please, I can't. Anyways. Yeah, I guess my husband must have left the door open or something, because those little, supposedly they eat mosquitoes. I don't know. All right, so then they move on to Anna Marie. She wants to make a point about Sutton weaponizing Anna Marie by saying that Anna Marie was screaming at her and yelling at her. She's right. Anna Marie's right. And I'm not team Anna Marie, but in this instance, she's right. She's absolutely right. But the thing is, it's like, God, she's right, but I feel like she's saying the right thing for the wrong reason. She's saying she's only, in my opinion, mentioning the fact that Sutton was saying that Anna Marie was yelling at her. I think Sutton said, stop yelling at me or don't yell at me. And I 100% agreed with her. She wasn't yelling at you. So Sutton, shut up. And I like Sutton. But I agreed 100% because I thought to myself when I was watching, I was like, girl, she's not yelling at you. And even though I completely disagreed with Sutton, I'm sorry, with Anna Marie, what she was doing, I thought she was patronizing Sutton. I was just like, girl, leave that lady alone. Leave Sutton alone. Sutton ain't bothering nobody. Sutton over there with her, you know, paid help, Avi, and I love me some Avi, and her horse, and Sutton, and her skinny legs. So just let Sutton be. But I feel like this was Anne Marie's moment to be, this is, I hate to say this, but it feels this way. Because Anna Marie is right in what she's saying happened with Sutton and that Garcelle didn't say anything. She's absolutely right. But on the other hand, I kind of feel like, what's Garcelle going to say? That's her friend. Should she say something? Yeah, she should. Just like Dorit should have said something to Erika, but she didn't. And Erika was cousin of her son, 13-year-old, 14-year-old. She didn't. She sat there. She was like, oh, he coming to get the flowers for his mama. She didn't say, that's terrible. How dare you? Don't speak to children that way. That's asthma. She did none of that. So I'm not sure exactly, Anne Marie, why you've decided to call up Dorit's ass, but you know, have fun, girl. Because that's not the hill you want to die on. Trust me when I say that. That's not the one. But it's what she's saying is true, in my opinion. Yeah, Sutton was wrong because Anne Marie wasn't yelling at Sutton. So, but I think she just wanted to have a moment to be able to say, I think Anne Marie wants everybody to think that she's neutral now for some reason. And so she can see both sides. You're not neutral, Anne Marie. You're mad because Kyle used you and Bravo used you and the audience attacked you. If I'm being honest, that's what you're mad about. And I have compassion for that. And I think you learned a lesson. But, I say this, I hoped that you learned a lesson, but I don't think that you did because of the fact that you're sitting at the reunion saying that. I don't think it's a problem to call it out, but I think my problem that I have with it is I don't think you would have necessarily called it out if you didn't want to seem neutral. Because I really don't think you cared about Sutton saying she's, you know, don't yell at me or whatever it was, or stop yelling or whatever. I don't think you cared. Because you were laser focused on Sutton's esophagus for half the season. So I don't think you really cared about any of that. Plus, you didn't say anything about it, really. And again, there's nothing wrong with you mentioning it because you're right. I just think your motivation for mentioning it is off. You didn't do it because you wanted to prove a point about it's like a double standard with Garcelle saying that, you know, she feels that Dorit's like a unconscious Karen, and you wanted to be able to say, let me bring some balance to it. It's right, but it's for the wrong reason. Do it because that's actually how you feel. And that's actually what's going on, not because you just want to be able to throw a monkey wrench. At least that's what you think you're doing into what Garcelle said. Because at the end of the day, even though, yes, Garcelle didn't say anything about what Sutton said to you and she wasn't screaming or whatever the case may be, Garcelle doesn't have to fight every battle for every brown person on earth. But Garcelle can fight her battle, and that was her battle. The battle she was having with Dorit, saying that Dorit attacked her, that's a battle. So she's allowed to fight it. She doesn't. That's a battle Dorit picked with Garcelle. Sutton didn't pick a battle with Garcelle. So why do I have to go stand up for Anne Marie when me and Sutton ain't beefing? Now, would it have been right for her to do it? Yeah, of course. But, you know, like I said, she doesn't have to fight everybody's battle. Oh, excuse me. Whew, sorry. So I also feel, I don't know. I have a problem when people ask these questions because I just don't think, much like I don't think Anne Marie's questioning or her putting the statement out about, you know, Sutton, you know, was trying to, what did she say? Weaponize me to say I was, you know, being angry and aggressive. I didn't feel as though it really meant anything to Anne-Marie. I think she just used that as an opportunity to do what she needed to do. I feel this is the same lane when Dorit is asking Garcelle, oh, do you like me, Garcelle? It just felt very like pretentious. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but it just doesn't feel like it feels like she wants Garcelle to. This is what I think. I think it's very clear to Dorit that Garcelle doesn't like her. She wants Garcelle to say it though. So that way Dorit can feel free to not care about whatever the hell she says to Garcelle. That's what I think. That's what I think. Because Dorit, you've never liked her. If we're being honest, let's just be honest. When did you like Garcelle? Not ever. And if you ask me, I really do think that whole comment about, race being brought on the show, that someone told Garcelle that Lisa Rinna had said, I think Dorit was somewhere in that conversation. It's just my opinion. Because when you can watch a child get attacked and sit there and laugh about it and do nothing, and then the next day get you, your husband, and your friend that is now saying she ain't your real friend or you wasn't never her friend like that, child. And her husband say, yeah, I think it's great that he did that. Or that she said that to that child. You guys are all in a giant bubble. The bubble that Garcelle was talking about, y'all all in the same bubble. Be clear. So I don't know. There's something about that just seemed very antagonistic to me. I ain't like it. Because I feel like Dorit just wants Garcelle to say, no, I don't like you. And then she could say, but why? And this is the thing, Dorit. Why do you want to die on that hill? Because Garcelle has plenty of reasons not to like you. You're fake. That's reason one. You're fake. You're phony. And like Crystal said, you haven't seen what did Crystal say? Crystal was shady. She said, you haven't seen an original body part in like 10 years or something like that. I was like, ooh, all right, Crystal, girl. I used to like Dorit, but I think Garcelle she sees Dorit for who she actually is, which is fake. I mean, that's the way you come across, Dorit. You come across very surface, although you say you're a child of the world. So then, Andy brings up Crystal's comment in her confessional where she says that Dorit has not seen a real body part since 1975 or something like that. And then, of course, Dorit wants to be fake, pretend mad about that. I'm like, girl, people have said way worse about you. They said you faked a whole robbery for insurance. So Crystal saying you haven't seen a body part and however long, who cares? Because here's the reason I wouldn't care to read. Your taste is so much better than Crystal's. And I like Crystal. I don't think Crystal has bad, taste in clothing. I'm just saying Dorit's is better. So I would just be like, girl, miss me. No, I look better than you any day of the week. That's what I would think. So say whatever you want to say, sis. But Dorit can't help herself. Because Crystal basically is like, it's just a joke. But I will say this. I will say I found it very interesting that when Andy asked Kyle what made her change her mind about getting with Morgan, because I guess now they're not together. I guess that's the thing. That's like the new news or whatever, that, Kyle and Morgan aren't together. Because lots of people run around the earth with these conspiracy theories saying that it was a stunt and Morgan didn't, it was a way for Morgan to, I guess, level up and get her album sold. I don't know. More eyeballs on her. But I thought it was fascinating when Andy asked her what made her change her mind. And because Kyle's response was something like, Andy, the way I grew up very like straight-laced and did everything by the book. And I just was like, say what? When? Because the last time I checked, Kyle, you've been saying over the years, and it's out there in the zeitgeist about Kathy, your mom, rest her soul, that she didn't play by any rules. She didn't enforce any rules and didn't care about any of that. Like, that's what you've been telling us for however many years about your mom, Big Kathy. So I don't understand where you're getting all of a sudden you've lived this very strict Catholic schoolgirl life. When did that happen, Kyle? Because I missed it. Because I Child. Lies. So, Kyle, you was either lying then or you're lying now. One of the two. So, it rang false to me that the reason that, you know, everything is kind of like you didn't take to... Kyle tried to make it seem as though she's probably always been bisexual or bi-curious or whatever. But she maybe it wasn't accepted in the household that she grew up in, the environment that she grew up was like very, you know, buttoned up. It's like, girl, when? Shut up, lying. I can't recall. King Cobra. That's all I'm saying. Because it's the opposite of what she told us about her mom. Anyway. And let me say this too. I didn't really like any of the people online saying and trying to call out or out Kyle for being whatever Kyle was being. Whether it was she was being a lesbian with this lady or she wasn't or she was scared of it or whatever. I just feel like the worst part is like a lot of the people that were doing it were gay. I'm like, this your people. Why are you trying? If you're gay and you know how hard or difficult it is for someone, even as woke as we are and as accepting people act like they are in our society, there's still a stigma attached to it. And people still have to kind of like, I feel like, work their way out of it into the world, accepting themselves, understanding what it might feel like if their family doesn't accept them or whatever the case may be. And especially if you're in a public eye. You switch around like that and you're not super confident about it and not out the gate with it, they're gonna pick it apart. And that's exactly what happened. And I don't like it. And I definitely hated it when the people who sit on platforms like mine and they constantly every day, she's gay and she's this and why is she doing it? And they just point out all these things. And my thing is, I'm not. But I just feel as though, why can't I just let that lady, like whatever is going on in Kyle's life, whatever secondary relationship she has, whatever she's trying out, just let the lady try out. Like, why do you have to, it is to me, it's very adjacent to those senators or Congress people who are making laws against gay people. And then you find out that they in the men's restroom being gay. Like, but you making rules against your own type. Like, I don't get it. So it just made no sense to me. And there was people who are very popular on social media doing that. I don't get it. It's one thing to say, you know, Kyle has a new love interest and we think it may be this lady, but to constantly poke at her about it, I just feel like that's savage behavior. Because how difficult was it for you? Just saying. That bothered me for a while. So then they get into the package with Miss 8.5. I said I'm gonna be a mature person. I'm gonna stop calling this lady 8.5 because it ain't right. Because I try to live in the light. I do. This is a moment that I wasn't living in the light with Miss Anne Marie because I just felt like she was bullying Sutton the whole season. So I just couldn't. And then it's the lies for me with Anne Marie. Come to the front, Anne Marie. Again, girl. I want you to come back because I think Bravo missed the mark this season with Anne Marie. 100%. Anne Marie had a real story that was real, authentic, heart-wrenching, in my opinion, relatable. She had all the makings of all of that. And they just threw it in the trash can so that they could talk about Sutton's esophagus. It's asinine to me. I think had they showed the real Anne Marie story that made sense, the temperature gauge on her would be very different. It wouldn't be as cold as ice like it is right now. Because I think she has a story, but I think this is the thing. Y'all didn't have to do the esophagus thing all season to show how annoying she is, because Anne Marie can be annoying without the esophagus gate. She's just annoying in general. Her voice is annoying. Nothing about her to me comes across real. That's why I'm annoyed. I'm not saying she's not a nice person. She probably is. I'm just saying what I see on the TV, and what I see on the TV is fake. I see she could be real probably in her real life, maybe, but it just came across as, the reason it's so fake, it just doesn't seem genuine. It seems like Kyle gave her a playbook, gave her an assignment, and she thought she understood it. She didn't realize that Kyle's a king cobra. She probably was a fan of Kyle's, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, like, Everybody that gets on these shows, they watch the show. They act like that they don't. They're so above it. They're so important. And they just somehow fell into a Bravo check of $500,000. And I'm supposed to believe that? Okay. I have an island to sell you in the Sahara Desert if you believe that. All of these people are fans. And they sit up there and act like they're not. Anyway, I digress. I feel like Anne Marie thought that she had a friend with Kyle. Because Kyle's also excommunicated Anne Marie too. Just like she did to Reed. Lisa Vanderpump, her sisters. Anyway. And so I feel like she got played. That's how I feel. But Anne Marie, girl, if you want to come back with a good storyline, a genuine one, like the one you actually had going on in your life at the time. You know, her story about being adopted and trying to find her birth mom. That's a genuine story. These are things that actually happened to this lady. It could have been a great season for her, and y'all chose. Child, don't trust them producers, girl. I'm just saying. What else did I want to say about her? Oh, and so then she gets in kind of like this little battle with Crystal about her being a nurse anesthetist. She's just still doubling down on her profession, and she just won't let it go. What did Sutton say to Dorit that season, that first season? I think she's just like, let the cat go. Let the mouse go. Just let it go, Anne Marie. I know that, okay, let me say it like this. It is my opinion that Anne Marie, her whole value, I feel like, I would say about 85% of her value is wrapped up in her employment. And that she has this big accomplishment that she's a nurse anesthetist, or however you say it. I feel like that's it. I think the other part of her life, to her, but I'm saying what she gives off to me is her life is mostly wrapped up in her accomplishment being a nurse anesthetist, just based on this season, what she's shown us, okay? The other bigger part of her life, or biggest part of her life, is her family. I do believe that. I think those are the two things that she lives for. And I'm not mad at her. So I don't think she's never going to ever say she was wrong about the nurse anesthetist versus the anesthesiologist situation. But Crystal was like, I got time today, bitch. Listen, Crystal got activated. Crystal said, try me not. She wasn't having it from Dorit, and she certainly wasn't having it for Anne Marie. Anne Marie, I think, was up first. She was not having it for Anne Marie. Because she was just like, you said that you were an anesthesiologist, and I think Crystal's sister-in-law or somebody, her aunt, somebody's an actual anesthesiologist. And here's the thing, Anne Marie. Just let it go, Elsa. Just watch Frozen a few times, sis, and just let it go, because you're not going to win this battle. And the reason you're not going to win the battle is because you have the association. Who are these people that Anne Marie has? Somebody came out. I forget. I think it's the National Association of Anesthesiologists or whatever. They basically came out and said, you a lie. That's not good PR, sis. I know she has to be going through it. And listen, Anne Marie, come to the front. Although I think the way you're presented on this show is very annoying. I just don't feel like you and I would be friends in real life because you're annoying. But you're probably a good person. But I'm not for everybody, and you're not for everybody either, because you're not for me. I might not be for you. I'm pretty confident I'm for everybody, but I'm just saying, I'm joking. No, but I hope it changes. I hope you can come back next season and honestly just authentically be who you are, and don't try to be whoever Kyle told you to be, or whoever Kyle coached you to be. Because I think Kyle is a king cobra in the same sense of like Tamara Judge over on Orange County. Tamara Judge be willing them women in, and they didn't thought they got a whole friend until they get to their reunion, or like to the last 3 or 4 episodes, and Tamara didn't sell their ass up the river because she don't give a shit. But she has made these women feel so accepted, and they're in the group. They're in the group with her, and she's going to mentor them. She does all that behind the scenes. So that's why when the new people come on the show, they always like Tamara. They always like her without fail. And then she just sells them up the river. And then they talk about the crystal package and about how irritated Crystal was about being called a child bride. Dorit, girl, when you gonna learn? Because Dorit is basically calling this lady a child. It's so icky. It's so icky. And trying to demean her and her culture. And I was here for what Crystal said. I was 24 when I got married, and I had already graduated from college. And by the way, I was working on my business that, as we speak, is worth $100 million, bitch. Yes, Crystal. That's how we need you to get activated every single season. Try me not. That's the shirt you should rock around in. Try me not. That's what you should do, Crystal. Because I'm here for it. I've always liked you, Crystal. Come on, Chanel. Come on, Chanel's reality sis. You're welcome here. There's a few things that, I didn't like season 1. But for the most part, I've always rode with you. Always. I always liked her. I always feel like people are trying to, for whatever reason, find fault with Crystal. I don't really find fault with Crystal. I didn't like how she treated Sutton when she was at that table with Kathy Hilton, and she was being very elitist about, oh, no one knows her. I've never heard of her. I didn't like that, Crystal. But that was her first season. So, everybody does some dumb shit their first season. Because Sutton was sitting on a cabinet in Lake Tahoe talking about she don't see color. Yes, you do. We all see color, sis. That's like me saying to my husband, I don't see that you're a man. How? Of course I see he's a man. That's like a dog saying to a cat, I don't see that you're a cat. Yes, you do. You absolutely do. If you don't, something's wrong. And listen, I'm a whole therapist. So we're going to have to get you a whole diagnosis, sis. You see that I'm brown. And you know that you do. So to say that is ignorant and late. So I liked it when Crystal checked Sutton all the way to the ground, because they all needed to be checked. And I'm glad that you did. It's still Bravo. Stand in it. Stand in it. And I don't like the fact that y'all tried to make it seem like she was lying. Crystal was not lying. Crystal said Sutton said something dark. To her, it was dark. And I ain't changing it. What did Nene say? And I ain't changing it. Now what? It ain't changing over here. Stand in it. Girl, don't get me started on them. But even in the episode, Garcelle is still like, see, she still doesn't get it. She doesn't. She doesn't. I think it was asinine what Crystal said. I'm sorry what Dorit said about Crystal. So then they kind of roll over to how, they speak about what Kyle felt like losing her best friend, which I think is terrible. And my heart aches for Kyle. I say she's a king cobra and I'm standing on it, but I'm a person with a heart. I'm one of the most empathetic people you'll probably ever meet. I'm always trying to help somebody. But that did break my heart for Kyle. And it's a double whammy because of everything, kind of like the breakdown of her marriage. And although I feel like Kyle has had no hesitation in trying to break other people's families apart and feeling like she has the right to say it, like what she did to Dorit, on some level, what she did to her sister, both of her sisters, really. She was always on Kim about any type of relationship Kim had. She talked about Yolanda having Munchausen's and then tried to act like she wasn't really a part of it. Yes, you were, King Cobra. Kyle has been, I feel like, a part of a takedown for everybody on some level. She even talked about Tom Girardi, and he deserved it. But she acted like, she's team Erika. Her and Dorit, they all acted like that the whole season, and yet they still said negative about Erika, her marriage, Tom, all of that. But they wanted it to all be Sutton. Sutton's the wrong person. It's just like, fuck out of here. But with all that being said, I can still have compassion for Kyle, and I think it's a lot. It's a lot of trauma happening. Her losing her trust in her husband, because at this point, what she said on the last episode, where she was just kind of like, it's something that made me lose my trust. All that sounds like to me, the thing that would make, I feel like, any person in love or in a loving marriage lose their trust would be infidelity. That would probably be number one, or something where someone's caught up in some sort of like pedophilia. That it's over with for me. If that was ever no, we go. I'm out. If that your spouse is bisexual or gay, that probably be what would be something to break your trust. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's a bad thing if you're married to this person that's other, Because you're thinking that you're in a loving, monogamous marriage and this person wants to be with other people in that way. I think it's going to break your trust. I'm not saying that being that is wrong, but if you're married and that's not part of y'all agreement, yeah, that's going to break your trust. And probably the last thing I would say would be, I'm trying to think of something else that might break your, like some sort of like Bernie Madoff. Honestly, Erika's situation. So my husband, I thought, was like this big, people's champ type lawyer for the little people for 30 something years. And I've been with him for 20 years and I've been living a whole lie. This man has really, literally, allegedly been stealing his clients' money and letting me live off of it. Yeah, we done, so I don't think, I was going to say, I don't think it's the money thing, but Mauricio has been in some lawsuits lately that seem pretty major. Like with that guy from, I think, Africa or something like that. Or he's from somewhere else. I know he's brown. And that, I think the guy that he was in this lawsuit with about some house that they kind of like sold to him or told him not to buy, but then they bought it, him and his group or his agency or something. I don't know all of the details of it, but it looks shady. It does. So I can't say one way or the other anymore about whether or not I would trust him with the money, just because it is odd to me. Although I'm happy for Mauricio, if everything that has really kind of been said about the agency is true, it seems like he's had mega success with his real estate company, I would say. And I'm just hoping for his kids or their kids, that everything is on the up and up regarding that, part of his life. I hope it's not something terrible like what Erika has gone through on some level. So I was going to say, I don't think he would, screw her over with money. I don't think it would be that, because I think it's infidelity, and this is why. Not that I think that Mauricio is some, man that's just sticking everything that moves. He doesn't come across that way to me. But we only see 15 minutes of this man a week, if that. We probably see 3 minutes of him and maybe 10 or 12 minutes of Kyle and her family. I think this, but I've been thinking this for seasons. I never was the person that was on the bandwagon like, he's cheating on Kyle. I never was. And I know it came up time and time again, but I just didn't see him as a cheater, pumpkin eater. I just didn't. That being said, men are sexual creatures, just like women. All animals have sex on some level. It just is what it is. And I think even with the greatest of the greats of really dedicated husbands and baby dad, whatever, people that are supposed to be monogamous, we live in a world of social media. And the moment you become semi-famous, you're going to get DMs from all kinds of women doing all kinds of stuff. And same thing for men and whatever else. And it's only so much. And I'm not in any way putting Mauricio and giving him a pass of any sort. I'm saying this. There's only so much even a very dedicated man can take of someone basically saying, here, you can have this right here, right now, or I can just come over and give you a BJ. Plus, all it takes, honestly, for anybody to cheat is an opportunity. Let's be clear. Someone's cute enough and they sit and listen. That's all it really takes. So you could be a decent person. And then I remember like 3 or 4 years ago, I feel like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, when his company was really, I feel like, finding its way, and they were like having parties in Mexico. All I could think was, girl gone wild. I know that sounds terrible, but I did think to myself, like I said, all I need is an opportunity. And if you have every reason to not trust, every reason to trust your husband, he's been a great father, he's been a great husband to you, him going off and gallivanting to whatever meetings and celebrations. Kyle, I'm busy over here building my caftan, career. That's shady. I'm just saying, I think that I was saying to myself at the time, somebody probably giving this man a BJ. And yes, it's wrong for him to be a part of it. And it's wrong for her to know, probably, if he's married, that's what's going on. But I think that's what I say. Just, you need an opportunity. And there's no reason for Kyle to doubt it, at the time, at least. So I think, based on what Kyle said in her little at the end when she was just like, it's over. And the producer is asking her about it. And he says something like, well, why? What did he do? And she just basically said it's something that I won't be able to recover from. And here's the thing. As many times as I call Kyle a king cobra, I hope that they make it. Because I do think some people can move past infidelity. I do think it can shake your trust. Because the thing about infidelity is it shakes your trust if you really believed that that person wouldn't do that to you. And Kyle and me, if it was just me and Kyle, I didn't believe that Mauricio would do that to her. So I'm hoping, but at this point, that's what I think. I think he cheated on her. Listen, about a month ago, I was like, when they was talking about, I think they was even talking about this at the Bravo console, maybe this was a few months ago. I was like, listen, I think it's worse than a cheateration. I think it's somebody's baby. There's a baby somewhere. That's what I thought. Because I couldn't see a reason for Kyle to leave all of her life that she's built with her husband and her kids and all that and put it out there for the whole world to like dissect unless it was really over. And the only way, in my opinion, it could really be over is if there was a baby. Meaning you got a whole family now with somebody else. I ain't got time for that. Like, I feel like that would have been the reason that I thought Kyle would be like, okay, yeah, no, I'm moving on. Because at the end of the day, who wants to start life over at 50-something years old, which Kyle is? Nobody. And if you trusted this man all these years, you certainly ain't gonna trust nobody else because he seemed like the good guy. Literally, he seemed like the good guy. How can you trust anybody else? I mean, we all bought into it, I think, on some level. That, Mauricio and Kyle, because Portia was like 2 years old. I remember like her little 2-year-old party. She was so cute. And now she's like 16 or 17 years old. It's crazy. So I think to try to rebuild trust or try to trust someone else at 50-something years old, I think that would be a challenge. And it also would be a challenge because I do believe with Carol Razarit, whatever her name was, she used to be besties with Bethany Frankel when she was just kind of like, yeah, being alone and having your own and not listening to a man and being freedom and dating and all that. She was like, it's great for about a year. She's right. She lives in Fakeville. Beverly Hills, Fakeville. That's where she lives. So everybody's fake. I shouldn't say everybody, but I'm just saying. All I'm saying is there's a lot of phoniness that happens, and when I'm referring to fake, it's like fake boobs, fake relationships, sometimes even fake money. Tom Girardi. Hello? Just saying. So, anyway, that's the show. That was the episode, guys. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think about Kyle? What do you think about Erika being Erika? What do you think about Crystal's response to Kyle? I'm sorry, Crystal's response to Dorit calling her a child bride and that, you were busy. The rest of y'all were busy getting educated. And Crystal's like, but first of all, I am educated. Secondly, I have $100 million business. Boom. Where's Beverly Beach? Hello? That's what, if I was Crystal, that's what I would have said. I would have said, so my company is worth $100 million and Beverly Beach is worth, I'll wait. That's petty. But listen, I can go to Petty University with you if you want me to meet me there. I got a PhD in being petty. I really don't. I don't. I try not to be petty. But if you're going to do that, if you want to play that game, we can run it, girl. Dorit, you don't want to play that game with me. You don't. You and your fake husband, girl, by the way, sidebar, Dorit, why are you with PK? He is just, like I said with the Black Bill Gates girl, listen. I gotta get, how do I get my clothes off with you? That's shady. All right, guys. Like I said, thank you for checking out Chanel's Reality and listening to me talk for an hour or however long it's been. I appreciate you guys supporting my channel, helping Chanel's Reality thrive, build my community over here. Now I'm going to go to bed and mind my business. Probably gonna go watch some reality TV. No, I don't know. I think we'll go hang out with my husband and eat ice cream. Anyway, y'all, love y'all. Have a good one. Till next time. Hit that like button and subscribe. Please, please, please. Thank you.